In 2016, Britain tore itself in half over Brexit. On one side, the Prime Minister who called the vote. On the other, the man who led the campaign against him. They had one thing in common. David Cameron and Boris Johnson attended the same school. Not the same type of school, the very same one. Eton College, which takes a few hundred boys a year in a country of 67 million people. Eton is one of 9 schools known collectively as the Clarendon Schools. Charterhouse, Harrow, Rugby, Winchester, Westminster, and 3 others. Names that mean nothing to most of the world and absolutely everything to a very small number of families. Researchers at the London School of Economics spent years assembling 120 years of biographical records, over 120,000 individuals, to answer a deceptively simple question. How much does one school actually matter? Here's what they found. Those 9 schools have historically educated roughly 0.15% of all British children. That is a rounding error, about 15 children in every 10,000. Statistically, they should be invisible. Yet those same 9 schools produce nearly 10% of everyone listed in Who's Who, Britain's official register of its most influential people. 0.15% of the children, producing 10% of the entire elite. Put precisely, a graduate of those 9 schools is 94 times more likely to reach the British elite than someone who attended any other school in the country. 94 times. Not 94%, 94 times. And it holds right at the very top. Of 54 British prime ministers, 36 came from just those 9 schools. 2/3 of everyone who has ever governed the country drawn from a small handful of buildings. Now, the obvious explanation is better teaching. Smaller classes, superior facilities, more attentive staff. If that were the answer, the advantage should mostly disappear once you account for what comes next. The elite universities these boys feed into. It doesn't. The researchers found that alumni of these schools reach elite positions even when they never pass through Oxford or Cambridge, and even when they never join a single private members club. The advantage survives entirely on its own. Sit with that for a moment. Strip away the famous university. Strip away the club memberships and every connection that follows them. The advantage is still there and still enormous, which means whatever is being transmitted is not academic at all. What these families are actually purchasing is not instruction. It is proximity. 5 years spent sleeping, eating, and arguing beside the children of the people who already run things. Familiarity, compounding quietly over decades. Because the boy in the room next door does not stay a boy. In 30 years, he runs a bank, a ministry, a newspaper, and he will always take your call because the 2 of you were 14 together. This is also why old money is so strangely unadventurous about schools. New money hunts for the highest ranking, the newest campus, the best results table. Old money quietly sends its children exactly where it went itself, because the ranking was never the point. The building was never the point. The point is the room, and who else is standing in it, and whether your grandchildren will still be standing in that same room in 60 years. So when a family pays a fortune for a school that teaches the same subjects as any other, understand exactly what is being bought. Not an education, an address, and a door that stays open for 100 years.